At 2 in the morning, the woman stared blankly at herself in the mirror. She picked up the dress she once loved most. She draped it over her shoulders. She felt deeply sad. She wanted to learn how to feel happy again. She invited one of her ex-husband's friends to spend the night. She hoped it would make her feel better. But the next day, she still could not accept herself. She broke down and told the man to leave. Ruth had been a housewife for 10 years. Just yesterday, her husband abandoned her. The reason was simple. Every breakfast was always ham and bread. And at home, she always wore a blue apron covered in flour. Her husband yelled at her.
Nicer than that.
How'd you like to go to hell?
He slammed the door and left. Ruth did not try to stop him. As usual, she went on preparing lunch. When her daughter came home, she saw all her father's clothes were gone. She cautiously asked her mother, "Where did Dad go?"
No, please, dear, come sit down.
Then where are his clothes?
Ruth could only tell her that their father had left.
But Daddy's gone?
Ruth gently picked up her younger daughter. The older daughter also came to comfort her mother. From then on, only the three of them depended on each other. The next day, Ruth looked at the few coins she had left. She quietly put the ham she loved back on the shelf. When she returned home, tears welled up in her eyes. She wanted to cry so badly, but she still had 2 daughters to feed. Ruth forced herself to hold back her tears. She adjusted her emotions. She decided to make a change. Ruth began looking for a job. Sales clerk, clothing store, jewelry shop. Her heels were rubbed raw and bleeding. Still, not a single store wanted her. She had no choice but to lower her expectations. She went to an employment office to try her luck, but it was already crowded with people. The staff told Ruth she had no education or diploma. She could only work as a waitress. Driven by survival, Ruth went to a restaurant to take a look, but after just one glance, she fled in panic. She could not imagine herself in a uniform, humbly serving others. The woman placed stones onto plates. Then she stacked them on her arms. She began to dance to the music. All of this was connected to her husband. Ruth married a real estate developer. She gave birth to 2 lovely daughters. But with the Great Depression, the real estate company went bankrupt. Her husband also had an affair. After a fierce argument one day, her husband drove away from the house. He left her to raise the 2 daughters alone. She applied for a job as a housekeeper, but the lady of the house mocked her. For survival, Ruth could endure hardship, but she could never tolerate others looking down on her children. Ruth decided to get something to eat first. She went into a small diner. She chose a seat by the window. After looking at the menu, she picked the cheapest set meal. While she was eating, a waitress nearby was clearing tables. She secretly slipped the tip into her pocket. Then she tried the same trick again. This time, another waitress caught her. The restaurant instantly fell into chaos. The boss wanted to fire both of them. Ruth gathered her courage and went to the kitchen. She wanted this job she once looked down on. Now it had become her last lifeline. After 10 years as a full-time housewife, even a simple waitress job overwhelmed Ruth. She had to face customers' moods. She was also scolded by senior staff. Some customers even harassed her. What hurt her most was this. When she charged the wrong amount, she had to pay the difference herself. Finally, Ruth was given a trial opportunity. The children must not know. She had already let go of the pride she once believed was noble. She was determined to give her children a good life. So that night, she put pebbles onto plates. Then she placed them on her arms. She slowly began practicing her balance. She only drank a stranger's drink at a party. When she woke up, she found herself in the river. But when she returned home, no one could see her. It wasn't until she noticed the wounds on her body that she realized she had already gone to heaven. She discovered that only the family dog and her father could see her. However, neither she nor her father could remember what happened at the party. Kaylee could only follow the police to the morgue. She stood quietly beside the doctor. She listened carefully to the medical examiner's conclusions. After a thorough examination of the body, the police determined that she died from strangulation with a belt. It was not death by drowning. This conclusion shocked Kaylee. What was even more unexpected was the toxicology report. Large amounts of anesthetic drugs were found in her system. This meant someone had drugged her drink. Hearing the doctor's conversation, Kaylee was instantly shocked and furious. But seeing her grieving mother, she still showed sympathy and pain. To continue investigating the truth, Kaylee went to her biological father's house. She told him the crime must have been committed by someone she knew. She said she would never casually accept a drink from a stranger. Then Kaylee used her father's computer to log into her social media accounts. She searched online for clues from the night of the party. Unexpectedly, after a series of searches, she found photos from that night. Her mind began to flash with fragments of memory. She suddenly remembered drinking a beverage that Mark had given her at the party. She immediately went to the motorcycle club where Mark worked. The 17-year-old girl had been submerged in water for a year. When she woke up, she was already 19. As she returned to shore, crows sensing her presence circled above her. Carrie went back home, but her mother did not see her. She was still calling the police to search for her daughter. Carrie grabbed her mother's arm, but her mother could not feel her at all. Angry, Carrie picked up a vase and slammed it to the ground. When she looked down, there was nothing there. She turned around in shock. The vase was still intact, completely unmoved. Carrie was stunned. She rushed to her sister's room. No matter how much she spoke, her sister ignored her. She kept admiring her clothes as if Carrie were not there. This completely enraged Carrie. But when she ran to the mirror, she noticed something wrong. She slowly pulled down her collar. There was a deep mark around her neck. She went to the bathroom to examine it closely. The mark was about 2 centimeters wide. Carrie took off her pants. Her legs were covered in large bruises. She removed her clothes. As expected, her whole body was injured. But when she touched the back of her head, she realized it was far more serious. There was a deep wound there. Only then did Carrie understand she had already gone to heaven. After sorting out her thoughts, she decided to find out why she ended up there. At the same time, her family was desperately searching for her, but they found no clues at all. Guided by her intuition, Carrie found her family searching for her, but how to make them notice her became a problem. At that moment, a dog that could see everything noticed her. Carrie suddenly had an idea. Together, they guided the rescuers toward the right direction. Soon, they arrived at the lake. Carrie walked straight into the water.
I'm here. Come find me.
At that moment, the crow flew over once again. Not long after the girl went to heaven in the lake, she strangely came back to life. Except for the dog, no one else could see her. Carrie used the dog to lead her family and friends to the lake. Soon, her body was discovered. She tried hard to remember how she had been killed. At that moment, Carrie saw her devastated father. They walked in parallel for a long time. Her father casually glanced in her direction. He seemed to see his daughter, but he did not trust his own eyes. He thought it was just an illusion caused by grief. Their eyes met. Still, the father refused to believe what he saw.
Oh my God, you can't.
What the fuck? I saw it.
Look, I know this is crazy. I don't understand how this is happening either.
Don't stop talking to me.
He hurried into his car and prepared to leave. But Kari would not give up the only person who could see her.
Dad, look at me!
She got on a motorcycle and chased after him.
Dad! Dad, stop! Please!
This isn't real.
You can't abandon me!
Leave me alone.
Dad!
You're dead!
Just when the father thought he had escaped the illusion, Carrie suddenly rushed in front of the car. The father crashed straight into his daughter. Only then did he realize this was... When her sister first brought her boyfriend home, she already knew she would marry her sister's boyfriend one day, even though she was only 5 years old at the time. She sat down beside Esteban and began to move a vase with her mind. Her mother warned her not to misbehave, so she moved the vase again, placing it right in front of Esteban to draw his attention. Clara was born with the ability to communicate with spirits and foresee the future. People from nearby came to her for help.
I've run up a great debt. Been a politician, it's a scandal.
Black Devil will win on Sunday.
I'm so unhappy. Maybe just give me some hint of how to make him love me again.
Your fiancé can't stand the smell of lavender. So if you stop smearing yourself with lavender oil, he might start wanting you again.
Suddenly, Clara felt a sharp pain in her heart and let out a scream. Her sister tried to comfort her. Clara told her sister that misfortune would soon fall upon the family. That very day, during a banquet at their home, her father's political enemy put deadly poison into her father's wine. But her sister accidentally drank the poisoned wine. That night, when Clara sensed it, her sister had already fallen into eternal sleep. This event ended Clara's carefree childhood and opened the curtain on the misfortune of this wealthy family. Determined to find the truth, her father ordered an autopsy on her sister's body. Clara stacked boxes to lift her small body and watched the entire autopsy through the window. Although her mother repeatedly insisted that the matter had nothing to do with her, pain and the shadow of losing her sister continued to weigh heavily on Clara. She had warned her sister, yet could only foresee suffering and was powerless to change it. So Clara began to shut herself away in a form of self-punishment. She stopped speaking altogether. In order to marry the woman he loved, Esteban became a gold prospector. He labored